something completely different.
Whoa! Happy Hot Topic!
Because I can't stand Paul George. I used to like Paul George. I was really rooting for Paul George when he was on the Clippers. I thought maybe when he took them to the Western Conference Finals during COVID, even though that didn't really matter because nobody was really in shape and Jimmy Butler was busy banging Rachel Nichols. I thought maybe, I just said it out loud, I thought maybe he would, I'm not saying grow up, but I thought maybe he would be fine and win a championship. But what happened was like he has been on the Pacers, the Thunder, and then the Clippers, and now the 76ers. Whenever it's time for someone to take some accountability, he's a bitch. Mm-hmm. And here's the thing. He says he's bored. Oh, you're not too bored when you're making your podcast, buddy. You're not too bored then? These podcasts, and now I'm not trying to sound like I'm anti-podcast because I don't want to come off like, oh, I don't want other people to have podcasts. But you have a job to do. Him, Draymond Green, blah, blah, blah. They like play during the season while doing podcasts. And I feel like sometimes they do things for podcast content. And the other thing is like you look at JJ Redick. You can say what you want about him as the coach of as the head coach of the Lakers. But hey, at least he I don't know, put the podcast aside. So here is Paul George being the bitch that he is, saying he's bored.
The 76ers were without Embiid and Andre Drummond during their loss versus the New Orleans Pelicans yesterday. And for some parts of the game, Nick Nurse went small ball 5 with Paul George playing the center position. And I think it's fair to say that he didn't really enjoy it.
Not going to discredit, how they played tonight, but a team we should have beat.
Yeah, that's kind of been the moral of the 76ers this year. All the games you should have beat.
And again, we got New York coming in. We got Oklahoma coming in.
Yeah, they're real good. You guys are going to get washed up.
It's not going to get any easier. And so, yeah, we got to, put teams like this away early.
He doesn't sound as confident as he does on his podcast with his kiss-ass fans. That being his co-host when he's in front of the media. Mm-hmm.
And, that's kind of the team we got to be. We want to compete and be one of the teams standing in the end. These are the games that, we put teams away early.
Nick used you as the de facto 5 in one of the lineups in the fourth quarter, I guess. For you, what is that like when you're not used to playing that position?
Yeah, it's different. I'm used to scrapping and running around and chasing. And
are you? You're used to sitting behind your podcast and cheating on your wife with a stripper.
Fighting through screens and, to be honest, I'm bored.
Oh, that's something you should have meant. Can you imagine Kobe? Even LeBron doesn't really say that. There's a lot of flaws about LeBron. But you never hear LeBron say that he's bored. Mm-hmm.
Playing and, on a 5 just don't do enough for me. But, I think being mindful of, my ability to clog the middle and kind of help and
yeah. Can I go do my podcast now?
Cut off passing lanes and driving lanes. And
sick of hearing that moron. Just win games, bro. Whenever you need him to win, he goes 7 for 21 and misses all the shots. I saw this here. So NBA.
Happy Hour. Happy Hour.